Hi, and welcome back to the Cross Training Women Weekly Live. I'm Allie, Christian health and fitness coach and the founder of Cross Training Women, where I help women transform their body and health biblically so that they can live fully and abundantly and carry out their God-given purpose. I hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. I just got back late last night from a trip to Alabama. I know July is a super popular vacation month, and so maybe you were gone as well, or you have a trip coming up this summer. And so I wanted to share 3 tips that will help you get back on track as soon as you get back from your trip. As you join, or if you're catching the replay, please say hello in the comments and let me know if you do have a trip coming up and whether or not it's hard for you to get back on track after vacation. I know with vacations, depending on where you are, who you're with, your accommodations and what you have access to can make things like exercising and eating healthy really difficult, or maybe you just want to splurge and not worry about staying on track at all during your vacation, which is fine if that's what you want and you choose to do. But regardless, everyone knows that they want, or at least they need to get back on track after vacation, and that's not always easy either. So like I said, I just wanted to share a few tips with you to help you out. So we'll go ahead and we will jump in. And my first tip is, before you leave for vacation, have the mindset and mentality that as soon as you get back, it is back to your healthy food routine and exercise regimen. Already make that commitment that you're going to get back on track right away, because just having that mindset and commitment makes a huge difference. And so you should kind of be visualizing, what that returning week is going to look like. If you normally work out 3 times per week, then you should have in the back of your mind that when you get back, you're going to work out 3 times that week, just like normal. No excuses, no matter what kind of mood you're in. Even if you go and you already kind of have in the back of your mind that it's not going to be the best quality workout, maybe you're a little bit tired, that's okay. Just still get it in. Just move your body, or even just go for a walk. And this will help you just get back into the swing of exercising and to get back into that routine. And the same goes with food too. If on vacation, you're having a couple drinks a day, you're going out to eat for most of your meals, or maybe you're just eating more junk food than normal, kind of visualize and plan and commit to not keeping that going when you get back. When you come home, know that you're not going to have as many drinks that you did on vacation, or maybe even not at all when you get back. Same thing with going out to eat. As soon as you get back, hopefully you're not going out to eat at all that week, that you're getting back to, making the food at home, or at least cut and eliminate or cut back on the amount of times that you do go out to eat, so that way you're not continuing to hinder your results and your goals. So that would just be my first tip, is go into vacation with the mindset that you're gonna get back on track as soon as you get home. And the next tip is important too, making that actually happen, and that's plan ahead before you even go on your trip. So what I mean by that is, don't just clear everything out of your fridge and your freezer and your pantry and just come home to this empty kitchen. You have some healthy food options available for when you return. Before I left for my trip, I did a little food prep the day before. I cut up some leftover fresh veggies that I had in my fridge, and then I roasted them and I put them in the freezer. And so for today, I'll probably reheat those up with some cooked rice that I also had left over and froze. I put them in bags, and so I'll probably just pull those out of the freezer, microwave them, reheat them up, and have that for lunch with some extra condiments on top of that. So I'm set for lunch today. And then another thing that I did, which you can't see because I already ate it, but I bought a green banana, and I figured that when I got home, it would be perfectly ripe by the time that I got back, and it was. And so I was able to use a ripe banana in my oatmeal this morning like I normally do, along with an apple that I had left in my fridge as well. And so I was able to get back on track right away this morning with a healthy, nutritious breakfast. And as a backup, I also have some frozen bananas in my freezer. So if my banana ended up being too ripe and too mushy, I could have used a frozen one instead. And that's actually what I did the last trip that I came back from. I froze a banana and I used that in my oatmeal. I also had some I had some blueberries and strawberries that I washed, cut up, and put in the freezer. And then when I came back, I had that in my oatmeal. I didn't have those this time, but I did have some leftover apples in my fridge, which is great. Apples, they last a long time in your fridge. So I was able to pull one out this morning, dice it up, and put that in my oatmeal this morning, which was delicious. And I always have frozen vegetables on hand, so if I didn't have those fresh vegetables, I could have, I could have just pulled out frozen vegetables and used that for my lunch today without having to run to the grocery store or going out to pick something up to eat. And so I'm back to my healthy eating routine right away. And then later today or this evening, I will then go to the grocery store and restock up on some food for this week. So it's good to have some options available and on hand. You don't want to have to run to the grocery store, immediately or that same day that you get back, because a lot of the times you're just really tired and you're not in the mood to go. And who knows, your flight might have changed like mine did. You might not have the option to do that. I was supposed to get in around like 8:40 last night, and my direct flight ended up getting canceled. So I had to rebook, and then my connecting flight got delayed. And so I didn't get back until midnight last night. And so you never want to count on being able to go to the grocery store that same day. You want to plan ahead of time before you go on your trip and have things available and ready to go. And then my last tip is, don't punish yourself when you get back. Don't deprive yourself, don't starve yourself, and don't go crazy at the gym either. That's not a good cycle to get into, and you don't need to do that either. Simply focus on nourishing your body with real whole foods, specifically plants. I would especially load up on as much veggies as you can, because they are so low in calories, but they're nutrient dense. And so really they're the best food for weight loss and weight maintenance, as well as just optimizing your health. And so that's what I do when I get home. I eat as much as I want, but I stick to whole plant-based foods, lots of veggies and fruits, lots of whole starches like sweet potatoes and brown rice. I don't eat less. I don't punish myself. I don't starve myself. I don't count calories. I just eat right. And by doing that, I just feel so much better, not just physically, but also, mentally and emotionally too. There's this, healthy mindset that comes from knowing you're nourishing your body well. Nobody feels good or right about starving themselves. It doesn't feel good physically or mentally, emotionally. So don't come back from a vacation and punish yourself from all the unhealthy food you ate or drank that week, all the inactivity you did. Just simply get back on track with healthy eating and exercising, and you will get back to where you were really quickly. So those are my 3 main tips that I wanted to share with you today on how to get back on track after vacation. I know it's really simple, but a lot of people don't do those 3 things. And so again, those are, before you go and leave for your trip, have that mindset mentality that as soon as you get back from your vacation, that you're going back to healthy eating and working out right away. Just like when you get back, you go back right into your job, you go right back into working. Same thing should go with your food and your exercise. And then plan ahead, have some healthy foods available, so that when you come home, you don't have to just go to the grocery store and or go out to eat, that you've got some things on hand. And then when you've got the time, then you can go to the grocery store and restock on all of the healthy foods that you're eating. And then don't punish yourself when you get back. Don't starve yourself. Just get back to your healthy routine of exercise and food, especially load up on those veggies and whole plant-based foods, and you will feel great from the inside out. And so that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that these tips were helpful. Let me know which tip or which tips you want or need to work on and implement for your next summer vacation. Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, if it was helpful for you, please give it a like. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hey, Linda. Hey, Mom. Great tips for someone who cleans out the fridge before we leave. Yes, my fridge a lot of times is somewhat bare, but I definitely at least have some stuff in the freezer. I've got some sweet potatoes. Those last for a while. I always have rice. I have canned green beans, so I had that as a snack this morning. So definitely have some things on hand that when you get back, you can use right away. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys back here next week. Bye.